We've really grown up here. I know Mom has loved it here. We're gonna take you on a tour. Alex has always been terrible to share a room with.
Peter's always been terrible.
The architect of this house, Jimmy Onstott, has become a family friend because he lived right down the street for many years.
I like this home for a few reasons. One is just the weirdness of Cannon Beach. We are here in July. It is cold and rainy, and that's normal. But there is a really nice beach where people go and pretend that they're warm. So what kind of home do you build when you come back? It's kind of a half beach house, half cabin sort of environment. And I think Jimmy executed that very well. It makes it really, really cozy, but still sort of beachy. We are here saying goodbye to this house. This is a house we have had as a beach house in the family since I was 9. I think, or 10, 9, 10.
Yeah.
And our mom has lived in for the last 4 or 5 years, and she just sold it.
We came in Thanksgiving 2001 with our 85-year-old grandma and our parents. Well, I think Mom knew she wanted something here, and she would say that she felt that our dad knew he was not well and might not be with us for a lot longer. And so he made sure to make it happen.
Right after.
Yeah, he made this happen and then he left. They bought this in 2001 and Dad passed away in March of 2002. We had one slumber party here as a family on air mattresses and then he peaced out on us. It was a really wonderful gift for everybody. It's been about 25 years since. It is a really homey, cozy, wonderful place. And since you have seen the tour of her new house, you may ask, like all of us, why would anyone leave this place and go there?
Yeah, nuts.
Okay, so right away, you will notice this is weird. Throughout this house, there are artifacts from old Portland buildings. This is from a school in Portland. The architect of this house, Jimmy Onstott, he really was a collector of these really cool special things.
Like doors.
Like doors.
Collector. It is nice to finally be on a home tour where I feel like I can sit down.
Where you feel at home.
Yeah, briefly.
This is a relaxing room. It is super nice. Back to Jimmy. He has designed a lot of houses and buildings here at Cannon Beach and around Oregon, and definitely has like studied the historic regional aesthetic and brought it to this house. So the house finished in like 2000. So he did a renovation to the Silcox hut up at Mount Hood. And if you haven't been, you should totally visit Timberline Lodge. It's a great piece of WPA architecture. You'll notice like a lot of similarities in this house to some of the interiors of Timberline with this horizontal, what's often called a dado course, about 1.5 feet below the ceiling, and then these sort of softly painted ceilings. I love when an architect has really thought about how the house or the structure they're making relates to the history of a place, and I feel like that happens here. We've always loved the fireplace. It has a lot of presence in the room.
Very cozy for being stone.
And he did all this metal work with a guy, I think again in Portland, and it just has this heft to it that feels
friendly. It's sort of playful.
friendly.
I like the weird keystone.
A couple of years ago when Mom actually moved out here, it was like late COVID and she had a ton of books and this house does not have a lot of storage. We had an architecture firm in Portland called Fieldwork build these bookcases that Mom and I designed together. I had seen them do this before. We had these sort of thick wooden dowels run through as the supports of each of these shelves, and then they did this really cool metalwork piece at the to cap off each of the dowels, which I thought really finished it off nicely. And then she had this very fancy sofa.
Which she loved. She had two of them.
It was in our living room in our house in Wisconsin when we were kids.
And there they could fit basically side by side and look normal.
Yes, here, so we had to cut this is actually the back side originally. We cut this camelback thing off and turned it into a daybed where you can sit, hang out, and read. Sometimes this has actually been really much closer to the fireplace and basically like 4 or 5 bodies on here cuddled together having a nice time. Yeah.
It is very comfortable.
It's very comfy. Mm-hmm. It's actually better than bed.
Now we are walking into what I've always felt should be the cover of an 1840s issue of Time magazine, Thanksgiving in America.
We should have put out a more Thanksgiving-y spread. Yeah, this has been a really fun place to have meals together. Apart from some of the stuff that Mom added, Jimmy had already kind of furnished this place a little bit with Haywood Wakefield.
Another thing, he collected doors and Haywood Wakefield.
But weirdly enough, Haywood Wakefield is, the origin is Wisconsin. It's still made there today, I think. But you can find like 30s, 40s, and 50s catalogs. You know, I think we have this idea that like woods have to match. And in this house, there's a ton of different types of woods.
You hardly notice.
Kind of think like the more the better in this case.
Maybe you can have a few types of woods, not so good.
Yeah.
Lots of woods. It's a forest.
Menagerie, yeah. We like that this house has distinct rooms, but they're all still sort of connected to one another. This partition that separates the entry hall from the dining room has this leaded glass window in the upper half of it. This also comes from some building in Portland. Jimmy, please leave in the comments where, because I don't remember.
I love that thing.
Yeah, it's so pretty. It's sort of prairie style arts and crafts.
It's another great way to subtly divide the space to fairly significantly, and it's not that subtle, but you've got the entryway right here. And you just have this little partition blocking it off, but it makes the flow of the home almost perfect.
The way Jimmy's laid it out, you have a lot of options and you're comfortably pushed wherever you want to go. Mom calls this her Battlestar Galactica kitchen. This kitchen is everybody's favorite part of the house. Every part of it you can work in, and then you can see into the dining room, but it's really its own thing.
If you're gonna go open plan, I would recommend dividing the spaces. This is a really good way to do that. It's also, I think, what I was saying before, a way of being a little beachy. The house is casual, and this allows people to be over there, kind of formal. You got a dinner party, but you're over here and you're having fun.
And the other thing that I like is in this kitchen, this island is built like more like a work table. It doesn't have cabinetry under it, so you can do a lot of your food prep here, and then this can also be where dinner happens. So when we first came, Grandma was with us, as I said, and so she had to have her room. I don't know if she ever slept here.
Maybe one time.
She was already a little nutty by that time, so I don't know that she was allowed out.
But Grandma's room is nice. I like it. It's a nice place to be.
But this was a super charming room and has a little ensuite bathroom that is connected to the rest of the house.
This is damp, not because there's a sink, but these are the family initials. And we actually had the same thing in the house we grew up in by where we dropped our coats off and stuff.
Dan, Alex, Martha, Peter. Nice laundry room, stamped in here. So we had the chalkboard front door, and then when you come in and turn around, there's this. Mm-hmm. Tell us about this. Giant, yes.
There are reminders in the house throughout about the family. We're not only damp. School Specialty was our father's business. And this is a little tribute. I don't know who made this. A little tribute.
I actually don't either.
To the company. And below a schoolhouse. I'm going to pretend that's our grandma. It's not. But she did teach in a one-room schoolhouse in the 1930s.
What I love about Mom's style is that she, still display our childhood art alongside stuff that she's actually invested in. And I think it just kind of all comes together in a really fun way that makes the place feel super warm and gives it like a sense of
That's who lives here. One of my only criticisms of great design. It's not criticizing the quality of the design, it's very good, but it can feel hard to live in. And sometimes softening things up. I guess it's still great design, but like making sure everything's not perfect. I really like it.
Yeah, imperfection feels nice.
Because then you can live there.
Yeah. So we use this room all the time. This is our TV room.
It's really pretty bad for movies for so many reasons. I'm not a designer, so I'm allowed to like large TVs. You literally can't put one in here. There's no wall that fits it. That one's too short. That one's got stuff all over it. These two have windows. So we've got a tiny TV, but I will still say it's really pleasant. It's very cozy. You close the door, the rain, which is persistent in Cannon Beach, just kind of makes you feel like you're in a little waterfall.
It's a cozy room. We mostly like it. I told Alex the amount that I'm willing to pay for a TV is $10, so I don't care about any of this. Alex created this. How old were you?
Oh, I don't know. 18, 19?
Clearly a giraffe.
I think I was probably 8.
What other
No, that's a horse.
A horse. This is
interpretive.
A horse mask.
Have you seen Picasso's work? You can't tell those are ladies.
These are spots. What horse have you seen with polka dots? I mean, I guess it's not necessarily
open your mind.
Either, but,
My art goes for thousands of pennies. Let's go see our room in our little treehouse. That's how we think about it. Good night.
It was fun to be up here together. My window opened and yours didn't.
Yeah,
so
mine didn't open. That was disappointing. But I did have the ocean view.
Ah.
Yeah, the vista, which is important when you're sleeping.
Always a little better.
Yeah, well, that's just facts. But this room is our childhood room when we were visiting. The one time we stayed here with our father was in this room.
We had like a gigantic air mattress, all 4 of us on, and a TV. And I don't remember what movie we watched. The first DVD ever invented.
This room also has some fun quirks that I would like to show off because I like weird things. There's one that's first over here that is actually mostly just challenging. You've got the space for a dresser and basically can't use it for anything else. The one I did like and used to spend a lot of time in was this weird closet, which not only is it a weird closet that matches the weird space, but it also has a second closet in it.
Alex really likes small spaces.
So I could just hang out in here and hide away. This is when I discovered the one quality of my brother that I liked as a child is he would make my bed for me if I left it unmade long enough, because he's kind of crazy. Is he behind me? Oh, shoot, he heard. We're now in the owner's suite, as it's called, which I think is kind of fun because it's like a whole other part of this house.
Most of the upstairs of this entire house is primary
And
suite.
you enter through the gallery.
These are actually kind of fun. These are a bunch of different old photos of Mount Hood. You don't have to hang the art. This is sort of a fun way, and it's easy to switch out. Okay, so this is Mom's room. Pleasant room to be in. This is our parents summiting Rainier, I think. So they have a lot of cool photos like this. They did Rainier and Hood and Kilimanjaro. This sort of started when our dad was with Jansport and they would do these big photo shoots at the top of mountains because it was originally mountaineering backpacks instead of back to school backpacks. And I think they just got to love it together and know the crew that they went up with.
I got bored waiting, so I just went around the other direction.
Irritating. All right, so let's go on in here. We took it down for visual appeal, but usually there's a sewing machine right there. And you can see the ocean from here. Our mom sews a lot, so she sits at that table. In our house growing up, we had one tiny bedroom way at the top that she called the so-so room, because it was like this tiny bedroom that she didn't have enough space to really do her projects in. She always relegates herself to like the most useless corner of the house, but here at least she has a view.
It is one of the only spots in the house with a clear ocean view. You can also see it from the kitchen, but this is the best spot. Nice place to work too if you ever have a meeting. I also realized we have not pointed out the windows.
Yeah, these are good windows.
This one, there it goes. They open really wide and they all have built-in screens, and you can open the whole wall.
We're in the bathroom, which is a series of little rooms. And what I like about this space is actually there's very little like built-in cabinetry. There's plenty of place to put stuff. But as far as like a vanity, this is a freestanding piece of furniture. There's this freestanding shelf. And I think sometimes we do get a little bit out of control with the amount of built-in cabinetry that we view as necessary in kitchens and bathrooms. There can also be furniture, which I think makes it feel very homey. The tub is pretty cool. It has its own little room in here. I do like a bath.
I don't like a bath, except in this tub it is really nice. The window can be opened there. You can also, it's usually raining, so the rain will fall on here and it's like loud and calming.
Mom was getting like cold feet about selling, and she was like, well, I think I'll put it on the market and we'll see. If it doesn't sell in 3 months, I'll take it off. And then it seems to have sold in one day, so.
Speaking of cold feet.
Don't do it.
So are you happy to see it go?
Yes, I'm over this place. For those of you who never came, I'm sorry. And for those of you who did,
I'm sorry as well.
yeah, the company was bad and I hope to not see you again. I'm kidding. Thanks for taking the tour, and watch out for updates on the new place in Portland soon.
See if we can make it as cozy as this.
Yeah, best of luck to us. I don't know about that.
Yeah.